So children, welcome back to the content part of the lesson, Our Environment. After our video session, you might have understood that we are passing through a very serious problem. That is the conservation of our environment. As you have seen in our video, let me explain. The wastes that are generated are usually of two types: biodegradable and non-biodegradable. The biodegradable substances are those that are broken down by biological processes. They can be the food wastes, your kitchen waste, vegetable peel, used tea leaves, etc. Then what are these non-biodegradable wastes? The substances that are not broken down by biological processes are called non-biodegradable wastes. These materials will be acted upon by physical forces like heat and pressure, but they may persist. Persist means stay back for a long time in the environment. They may be inert. Inert means inactive, or they may harm the various members of the ecosystem. For example, plastic is the most commonly available example on non-biodegradable waste. Now we go to the ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? All organisms, plants, animals, microorganisms, human beings, as well as the physical surroundings, interact with each other and maintain a balance in the nature. All these interacting organisms in an area, together with the non-living components of the environment, together form the ecosystem. An ecosystem consists of some living components, which are called the biotic ones, and some non-living or physical factors, they are called the abiotic components. There are various types of ecosystem. You can have forest ecosystem, garden ecosystem. These are examples of natural ecosystem. Forest ecosystem is an example of natural ecosystem, whereas garden ecosystem, lake ecosystem, etc. are examples of artificial ecosystem. You might also have seen an aquarium, which is an example of an artificial or a human-made ecosystem. Now we go to the organisms. The organisms in the ecosystem can be grouped as producers, consumers, and decomposers based on the manner in which they obtain their food for their survival. About the autotrophs or about producers, I need not mention much to you all. Quite familiar you all are. Green plants and certain blue-green algae, they can manufacture food by photosynthesis, and they can make sugar and starch from inorganic components using sunlight and chlorophyll. So they are called the producers. On the other hand, the organisms that depend directly or indirectly on producers are called consumers. Consumers can be categorized as herbivores, like example cow, deer; carnivores, lion, tiger; omnivores, that is the humans; and of course the parasites like cuscuta, lice, etc. The herbivores can be said they are the primary consumers. The carnivores come under the category of secondary consumers, whereas the omnivores and parasites come under the category of tertiary consumers. Now, apart from all these, there is a very important component in our ecosystem. They are decomposers, and their role is very, very important. The decomposers, what are they? The microorganisms. By microorganisms, I mean the bacteria and the fungi. They break down the dead remains and the waste products of organisms. They break down the complex organic substances into simple inorganic substances that can go back into the soil so that they can be used up by the plants. The garbage and dead animals and plants would have rotten, and they would have created a foul smell in the environment if the decomposers had not been there. Apart from that, the natural replenishment or refilling of the soil with the nutrients also would not have taken place in the absence of decomposers. So this question is very important for your examination. What are decomposers? Explain their role in the ecosystem. So children, with that, we come to the end of today's session. Our chapter, you might have gone through the video modules as well as the content part, is our environment. We are sharing our planet Earth with all the living organisms that are there in our surroundings. And we don't have any right to damage our environment or to destroy the peaceful harmony that exists between the living organisms in the environment. So all of you keep it in mind. Our environment is a legacy that is being passed on to us by our ancestors. And of course, you have to pass it on to the next generations as well. So it is in our hands how we treasure and nurture this legacy. Thank you, children.